book here.
Okay.
She is.
She has a notepad everywhere.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit, you know. She's a Mobo Award singer-songwriter. Oh my gosh, tell me about that.
It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, how long ago was it, really?
It was 1997.
Wow.
And I was the first recipient. There's a category called Mobo Best Unsigned.
Wow.
And
1997.
97. And it's still going today.
Yeah.
But I was the first recipient of that award.
Very nice. And can I ask you, what did you sing? Was it gospel?
Oh no, it was all original material.
Oh.
So it was, you know, pre Britain's Got Talent days and things of that nature, where you go through a selection process.
Yes.
And down to the final 3, down to the final 2, and then they.
Was that your first time doing a? Can I say like a talent show?
It was. I guess it was.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it like that before, but yeah, it is a type of talent show. Was it my first time? No, it wasn't, because remember, guys, back in the day there was that thing called 291 Club.
Oh my God, yeah, we're going way back.
At Hackney Empire.
Yeah.
And,
I watched that religiously, you know.
Yeah, I did that. I made sure that I went on to a night that was untelevised. Because I was a trainee for the company that produced it.
Oh, I see.
And so I wanted to do it, but I didn't want the world to see me. It was enough that you had a packed audience at the Empire. But yeah, that was the first.
That was back in the day. So people, if you remember 291 Club from back in the day, Jeff Schumann was in it. Who was it?
It was DJ Lane Smith.
DJ Lane Smith, yeah, she was the host. Yeah. And then there was the hanger man that pulled you off, isn't it?
That's right.
The hangman person. Yeah. Oh, so how do you remember how you felt when you first went onto this show? How did you?
Onto 291.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because they were quite brutal, isn't it?
It's not that bad. I was cacking it. Because I was in my, I'm giving my age away, but who cares?
Yeah.
So I was about 21, I think, at the time. And I really wanted to be a singer. Like that was your thing. Yeah? That was my thing. I wanted to be a singer, and I just graduated from uni. Lovely. And I thought, if I'm going to do it, then I have to do it in front of the roughest crowd I could think of. And if I can get through that, that was my litmus test. Okay. If I got through that round, I was good to go. I could perform in front of anybody. So yeah, thankfully I got through that round and didn't win, and that was fine. I sung a Misha Paris song. I was a big fan of hers. Oh, I love her. Still am.
I love her. Yeah, she's amazing. She's so nice in real life as well. She's lovely. So that's Spola's story, and she's also the curator of the show and director. Is it of the Windrush show or of the...
So they're two separate things.
It's two separate things.
So founder and director of a community choir called Reggae Choir.
So it's you, okay.
Right, so it's non-religious and non-audition, so it welcomes anybody who wants to sing classic.
Do you teach people how to sing?
So my background is as a music educator. Yeah, so I've been doing that for the last couple of decades. Yeah.
Decades, you have to say it like that.
You know, long time.
So did you ever cut a song? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been singing for.
So where's the CD then? You've come all the way here. We've had tea or coffee, and I mean, gosh.
Well, I work a lot more now as a session singer as opposed to a performer.
What's the difference between, what is a session, for people that don't know?
So as a session singer, you get hired to sing for various people. So it could be as a recording artist on somebody else's project, or you could be asked to be hired to do shows or weddings, celebratory events and things of that nature. So I'm probably more of a session singer now than I was back in the day, where I was a fully fledged
Would you ever go back to being an independent artist?
I would, but I know how much work it takes, and I know how much I have on my plate at the moment. So if there's a level of energy and complete commitment, I would absolutely do it as fun. So
not as a serious journey.
Not right this second, because there's so many things happening that I'd like to talk to you about.
Yeah, sure, we're going to get on there. So tell me about Windrush. Everybody was online this morning, if you can see. Yay! Windrush. What is it about? Oh, it's my birthday month. Yay! Yay! October the 14th, just saying. What is
My
this?
sister's is October the 15th.
Oh, that's when Libras.
Libras
Isn't she amazing?
She is.
Telling you. Absolutely. Libras in the house, man.
Shout out to my sister.
Shout out to sister. That's it. What a beautiful name. So tell me about the Windrush. And what does the Windrush, before we get into that, what does the Windrush mean to you?
It's so interesting because I was online on a discussion last night, in fact, with a network of people about Windrush, and you know, this year is the 75th anniversary, and my grandparents came over here in the 50s, so they came probably 10 years after the original people who came on the boat, which is called the Windrush, Empire Windrush. I think for me the Windrush is a collective term, has become more of a collective term, specifically I suppose more directed towards those descendants of those who came from the Caribbean. Remember, we were British citizens, with our passports, who came over at the invitation of the British government.
And do you know it's not only Jamaica?
And it's not, well, definitely not. My parents are from Trinidad. Yeah,
that's the thing. I only thought it was Jamaica. Till I went to some discussions, it's more than, you know.
Well, and on top of that, it wasn't only the people of the Caribbean that was on that boat. So you had Polish people, you had lots of other people who were on there. Yes, overwhelmingly people from the Caribbean, because that's what the boat was there to pick up those people. But when you look at the travel log, the passenger log, you'll see that there are people from all over.
All over, yeah, absolutely. So what is the Windrush musical about? Is it musical?
Well, so we are, Windrush is a one night only immersive musical night that touches upon the journey of those who came on the Windrush and thereafter. It will be an emotional ride.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's meant to be that way, and we touch, using reggae music as the thread, we touch upon different cultural landmarks, and it's told through the story of, yes, the music, but also through spoken word and video, and through
so will there be old footage in
so there'll be all of that.
Oh, nice.
So that creates greater context for what you're watching. So but it's celebratory. It's we're also commemorating the indomitable spirit of these people who are pioneers in many respects and have shaped the culture that we enjoy today. Look at us.
I know, amazing, isn't it?
The opportunities that are afforded to many of us today is because of the sacrifices and the shoulders of those that we stand on.
Do you think sometimes we forget that?
I personally don't forget that.
No, I don't. But do you think,
I think
somewhere along the line that somehow it's forgotten and we just get on with things and just forget about
there is work to do in embedding that history. Because when I say history, I'm not just talking about the past, because this is living history. And I think the other thing that we need to remember, or is as important to remember, is descendants and those of Windrush are still being deported. Okay, so this is something that is affecting us to this day. So it is something that needs to be embedded into the educational system, which is something that I'm a part of. And is part of British history. It's not exclusive to people who look like you and me. We are part of a larger history that in many respects this country is still having major problems dealing with. And so unfortunately we are the recipients of that fallout and the laws that are still in place that are discriminatory against us. So I think that there's a lot in there, but on the other hand, you know, being a Libra, the scale thing, right?
The scale, so, we are very balanced. Before you say what I'm balanced, we're very balanced.
So the other thing is, you know, we've just had Notting Hill Carnival, for instance. You know, which is a great legacy from people like Claudia Jones, Trinidadian woman. Those who don't know Claudia Jones, please look her up. One of the pioneers of the carnival. Carnival came about as a need to bring people together as a unifying factor, and came out of the death of, and I'm so sorry that I've forgotten his name, but the brutal murder of a black man in West London. I'm sure some of you who are aware of this will correct me. But yeah, so this is how Notting Hill Carnival came
and I
up.
think a lot of people don't know that. I did actually know that, to be honest. Yeah.
And so we have music, we have fashion, and you know, so we have had a real impact
and the movement
on the
as well, the actual movements as well. Yeah,
absolutely, and we are everywhere.
We are indeed. Did you go this year?
I didn't go this year.
No, I didn't.
I didn't go this year.
I haven't been since the 80s. I won't lie to you.
Oh really?
Yeah. I haven't been since the 80s.
That sounds like a larger discussion.
No one off of it. Yeah. But yeah, what I saw of it, you know, but back in the day it was much more community-fied, I think.
It is.
You know?
I think also, and that's a bigger discussion, but you know, from something that happened as a nugget, a seed, has grown and attracts a big economy.
Yeah, a lot of millions in that. Yeah,
we're talking about at least 100 million.
Is it?
Over a weekend period. So it's about making sure that some of that comes back to the community that brought us together in the first place. Again, larger discussion.
Yes, indeed. We have to come back for that one. So what made you make this immersive? I love an immersive backing. I think it's really beautiful, you know, because you have to have your mind differently. You have to project what you think this story is about.
So why? Why? Because throughout the year, so as I said before, I'm founder and director of a community choir called Reggae Choir. We have at least 5 locations across London. We run weekly singing workshops.
Where are you advertising?
Well, you can see us on Instagram. So we're on Instagram, we're on all the socials. As Reggae Choir. Just look at Reggae Choir. We're everywhere. Oh, yeah. And we have at the moment about 100 members.
Wow.
We're in, where are we in?
Where are you?
Willesden Green, Enfield, Peckham, Stratford, and I'm forgetting one. I have to work it. Bernie Grant Arts Centre, so we're in Tottenham as well. Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
Looking to expand, but at the moment we're in those areas. We've been going. We're into now our 11th year. We started in 2012. So I say all of that to say that we've been, as well as being a community choir and doing our weekly workshops, we do lots of performances. We get asked to do lots of performances, and this year being a landmark year for Windrush, we've been asked to do that. But we are asked to share the stages of other people, and I make it my business that we have one big show that is Reggae Choir led, curated specifically for Reggae Choir members, and so audiences come to experience what Reggae Choir have to offer, and each year it's thematic. This year is we are Windrush,
and it's so near, just down the road. Oh my gosh, it's so near people. Catford Theatre, and it's been refurbished. Have you been in there?
I have. It's fantastic.
Can you see the refurbishment? You can. Yeah?
I can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, good. Because when I went there, I couldn't really see it. So
I can see it. They've changed all the carpeting.
Oh, you saw that there? Okay.
Yeah. They've changed all the carpeting. They've changed all the interior. Yeah, it looks.
Oh, you've seen it like that.
It's a multi-million-pound apparently refurbishment. Yeah. No, it looks great. Audiences, you're going to have a great time.
It's nice in there now. Yeah, it's on the doorstep. Just hinting. Okay. So is there any special guests going to be performing as well?
Well, usually we do. Previous years we've had guests, and this year I wanted it to just be Reggae Choir.
Nice.
The reason being, you know, we are predominantly the members are descendants of the Caribbean, and obviously by that African as well, and I want it to be really reflective of their experiences. So what you're going to get is a real global aspect or perspective of what Windrush has become to be.
Wow.
You know, so yes, you're going to see that through the flag wearing or bearing of some of our members who come from all over the globe, by the way. You know,
will they be dressed up? Like,
so we have our performance uniforms, so to speak.
But you won't be dressed up in like the back in the day outfit or nothing like that. Okay.
No. But all of that you'll be able to see through videos and so on. That will be part of the backdrop.
That will be very, very nice. Wow. Yeah. And can you tell the audience when that will be?
All right. So everyone, we are Windrush will be at Catford Theatre Broadway, Saturday 16th of October. Get your early bird tickets now. They are £20. Doors open 7:30. Doors open 7 o'clock. Show starts 7:30.
Okay.
And I do say that we do have one guest. He's a long-time friend and well-known person in the spoken word scene. His name is Amenois, and he's going to be delivering a poem originally written by Linton Kwesi Johnson called Sonny's Letter. Which is about the letter is based on a man in prison speaking to his mum, but the backdrop will be about the New Cross massacre. So there are real landmarks that we go through from 1948 to the present day, and so that has to include not just the arrival, but remember the house parties, sound systems, all of those areas we touch. We touch upon the advent of Lovers Rock as a music, and we also touch upon the political activism that was happening in the 80s, and so on and so forth, and that's reflected in the songs that we do, and hence mentioning that poem right up until present day, where we touch upon what's happening with those who are being deported, having been asked to be here.
Wow. Listen, if you want to contact, you can contact us on Facebook on Love the Beat Radio, Instagram at Love the Beat Radio, and Twitter at Love the Beat Radio. You can also call on 07 308 895 668, where you can call, text and WhatsApp. You can ask, follow a question, or contact on Goddess Jazzy Media Live, where we are. Hello, good morning. Hello there, morning. Thanks for joining. And find out more about the Windrush. This sounds interesting. You said the 16th, not the 21st.
Oh, sorry. So many things happening. Sorry, thank you for correcting me. Saturday the 21st of October. If you want to know anything more about Reggae Choir or looking to join, there's free taster sessions as well. You can find us, as I mentioned, on all socials: Instagram, Reggae Choir, Twitter, Reggae Choir, Facebook, Reggae Choir. And you can contact me, follow the music via Instagram as well if you want to know any more information.
Very nice. So you said that this is what you wanted to do. Did you have a second option before singing? Was there something, if singing didn't work out, what was your second option?
Oh my goodness. Before singing even came into my head, as a single digit person, so I was young at the time, I wanted to work with the elderly.
Oh, you're like me.
So I was about 7, 8, 9 when I had that in my head. And that was because I had great neighbours in the area that I grew up with. The elderly neighbours used to look after me and my sister, you know, when mum's at work and stuff. So we'd come home from school and we'll knock on the door, and there was Bobby and Peggy who were directly in front of us, and then there was another elderly couple next door called George and Ivy, and we would go into either of their homes.
Where are they now? Have they passed now?
Oh, they've passed.
Where are they? Yesteryear. I call them yesteryear people. Do you remember them? You know, isn't it yesteryear? I call them. Like the old men I used to see back in the day. They were uncle, auntie was with a trolley and everything. Right. I bought a trolley. Remember the trolley for back in the day?
We are there because I got myself a trolley as well.
And I'm proud. Believe me, I'm very, very proud. People, I've got a trolley. I'm proud.
It's our secret. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I know. But the yesteryear people, they've gone, and I miss them so much. Every day I miss them sort of people, because they're not. I don't find them again.
And this is why We Are Windrush is really important about telling our story. His story, his story, her story, our story.
Yes.
It's about making sure that that is there in the annals for generations to come.
Absolutely.
That we will become ancestors, but our stories won't disappear. And that's important.
So it's very important, everyone, to come to this. I think this is going to be really good. I'm back on the 19th. I'm going away for my birthday, just saying.
Wonderful.
Coughing. Right? So, okay. So can I ask you, what type of music are you into?
Oh my goodness, so much. I'm going to be straight up.
Yeah, go on, be straight up.
Let me be transparent.
Yes, please.
So, I was not a reggae head. All right.
Are you sure you're not my sister?
I'm
a soul head. Are you?
I was a soul head growing up.
I
was into my rares, rare grooves. For those who don't know, look it up. Spotify. Yeah, I was into my rare grooves. I could take. Yeah. You know, when you go out to house parties and
I could be there all night,
and they're playing reggae music. Like, yeah. After the third one, when it's come to reggae number 5, and it's where's the soul?
They just want soul song, you know.
But it's really interesting as I got older.
Yeah,
it's just rediscovering, right?
Yes,
so for me, it was a rediscovery, and then I was able to implement that into
what part of reggae do you like? See, I like Lovers Rock, and I like back in the day reggae.
It's me. Lovers Rock all day.
I love it.
I'll tell you a story.
Please do.
I remember growing up. So I grew up in Deptford, right?
So did I. Roll Street.
No
Come
way.
On, me your sisters.
No,
you best behave yourself.
I grew up
Roll Street.
One Snipe Court.
I was 16 Pintel Court.
No!
Listen there. But that had a lot of kids.
Off the radio, we're going to have a discussion, right?
Look how life is.
I grew up on Roll Street.
Yeah.
Right? Originally Milton.
Did you go to John Evening School?
No, I went to Childeric.
Oh, you went? I went to Childeric as well.
What? No.
Yes, I did.
We need to have a conversation, right? So, grew up with, so Roll Street.
Childeric round the corner, is it still there?
Childeric's still there.
You're joking.
Childeric is still there.
Do you know why I remember Childeric? And I can say this like this. A white boy called me a nigger for the first time. That's when I knew racism.
That's where I knew racism.
As well.
It was unfortunately at the same primary school.
And I had a fight. I'm not advocating the fight, but I had a fight and I beat him up at the end of school.
Yeah,
Childeric.
But there's a bigger conversation to be had, because for me, I grew up in the... I hope that's not me.
Who is this? I love the beat. What they saying? What you all saying again? Good morning. Wow.
So it was the late 70s.
Yeah.
And so Childeric holds extremely happy memories, but also balanced with other stuff. And
so you was in the time of the skinheads,
when you used to stay in your yard,
and lock up the
on
door
a Saturday. Yeah, you're not coming out when it was
Clifton Rise.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness me.
You were going out.
Jeez,
you were going out. So so I mentioned all of this because you're talking about the music, and I remember there was a group of us that I used to hang with on the estate.
Were you allowed out? I wasn't.
On the estate.
On the estate,
just there.
I was allowed on the balcony just to look over.
Well, I said just so you
there. Oh, you were flushed then.
Yeah. Just because the kitchen window was there. My mum can see what we were doing.
Yes.
You know, that kind of thing. Make sure you're playing where I can see you.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And so I remember distinctly singing Lovers Rock, especially Janet Kay's Silly Games.
Silly Games.
It comes back to me. It's so visceral, those memories. They're so I mean, I see it in colour. And we'd be singing and trying to hit those notes. So 2018, doing another of our annual shows. It was at Shaw Theatre in King's Cross. Our special guest was Janet Kay. And to share the stage with Janet Kay and sing Silly Games was a 360 moment.
You must have.
I had to hold it together because I'm on stage and I'm conducting and stuff, but I definitely shed a few tears.
Yeah, you must have.
Because, it was,
especially with your icon there. It's just, it's a feeling, isn't it?
Amazing. It was amazing,
wow.
You know. And then last year we did, we were at Hackney Empire.
Is that still going?
Hackney Empire.
Yeah.
So we were at Hackney Empire. That's been refurbished as well. Yeah. And celebrating our 10th anniversary, we had Tipper Irie, we had Winston Reed.
Shout out to Tipper, I love you.
Black Slate, you know, and Tipper Irie's just launched his
new book. Have you got it?
I have.
Same
I bought it. I went
you
to
did?
the launch.
Were you at the launch? Which one in Brixton?
In Brixton.
I was there. Did you see me? What's wrong with you?
I our paths are crossing too much.
I think we're related, you know. But we have to find out because Childeric and whatever else. Oh my! So what secondary school did you go to?
Haberdashers.
Oh, I bet you did. I went different.
Yes,
oh, you did, didn't you?
Haberdashers.
Oh, one of them. Well, I did try to get in there, but you know, the grades. Wow, what a small world. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my gosh. So singing with your icon, how did it feel?
Oh, absolutely.
How did you compose yourself, knowing that she's there?
To be honest, when I'm doing a show, I'm doing a show.
Okay, so you can cut
So
it
I
off.
can be quite blinkered.
Yeah.
You know, so in the beginning when, you know, Miss K and, I'll call her Miss K because that's like, you know, Miss K and accompanied by Victor Romeo Evans came as well. And meeting them, it was like, you know that moment. And then it was like work mode.
They switched off like that?
Switched off.
Wow.
And then got into work mode. And then when that's done, I can be a fangirl again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a time and place.
Good on you. So you said, oh God, we lost the trait of what I said. What is it you wanted to do before singing? And then we got to Childeric School. So what would have been your second?
So it was
what did you
to work with elderly.
Oh yeah,
people.
that's
So
right.
That's
Yes,
what
yes.
it was. But
why not kids? See, I can't be a school teacher.
I was a child myself. So
at that young age, you could know that.
About 8 or 9, and do you know what? That came to pass. In the early 90s, mid 90s, I worked in an old people's home.
How was it?
Really challenging.
I like that answer. Yeah,
really challenging. You know, but one of the things I learned was, you know, a lot of those members, a lot of those people didn't have family, so you kind of I had to take myself out of the equation. Yeah. And what are their needs? Yeah, yeah. What can I do for them? And that's kind of where I had to put my head. Like yeah.
So did you have another option of something else?
I'm
leading up to the music and the singing, but I just want to see where you were at.
So music really came into my life probably when I was about 10. 9, 10. I just became completely obsessed by music back in the days when it was vinyl and you had
still got some
albums and you know,
and the tapes.
Absolutely, I would read the linings, the notes and things like that, and I was absolutely obsessed by Sam Cooke and other people. Yeah, I say it, but you know, came from a family where you know, although you were encouraged, you weren't discouraged from doing it, but you were meant to have a backup. Yes. So I was also a fan of film and TV. Again, obsessed by TV growing up. Yeah. And so that's what my degree was in. Nice. So I went off and I studied film and video production and graduated in the early 90s in the height of the recession. I was lucky because I got a scholarship to be a trainee working for production houses that produced 291 Club, which is why I was able to do it.
Okay, look how the world spun around like that.
Yeah. I worked for a very short time on a BBC production as well through this production house that I was a part of. So that's what I wanted to do film, and I worked on quite a few independent film sets and things of that nature. But you know, it was the height of the recession, and there were no jobs. I was not in a position. The way that it used to be back in the day is that you used to do this thing. Used to be what's called a runner, a production runner, and you didn't used to get paid for that. And I was not in a situation where I could do a job for free. You know, so I say all of that to say, well, no, you know, I just didn't have that kind of support mechanism. So I could do it for free. So it meant that I put that on the back burner, not the skills that it took, but venturing into that line of work. But all the while, music was still there. I was singing for a music production company, and that's where I learnt the skills to sing a variety of music styles. You know, so I was doing hip hop, I was doing reggae, I was doing dance music, I was doing all kinds of stuff as a session singer. So say, Fola, come and sing this,
you do it. And did you get support from the family? Because you know, back in the day, it wasn't a thing of, say if you was to be a doctor, there'd be more, oh come. But as a singer, how was it for you? Like, did you get that support of, okay then,
well,
sing, go on, you know?
Okay, so my family situation was a little different because my mother passed, who was a single parent, my mother passed away in my first term of university.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
And she was a great advocate for myself and my sister, so she would have been there supporting it, and so on and so forth. And so that changed the game. Yeah. So when I say that I didn't have, and my grandparents came into the picture. My grandparents are beautiful, but old school. Yeah. So they didn't discourage me from doing singing, but it was like, you make sure you have a backup.
Yeah, of course.
It was that. And so I continued to do singing. They never ever said don't do it.
Okay, that's
but I was always working. So it was never jeopardized, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and I garnered the skills through being at university, because I'm just a curious person. I like to dip my hands in everything. So not only was I doing, not only was I doing film and video production, but I mean, I learned photography, I learned printmaking, I learned metalwork, did woodwork. I just did because I thought I only have 3 years.
Okay.
To completely indulge
in everything,
and then you're out there in the big wide world, and you know. So thankfully I did, because when there wasn't work in the degree that I had studied,
it's always that way though, isn't it?
I did graphic design.
Ooh.
So I went into that, and I worked for different organisations. I worked for Mirror Group for a while. I worked for National Farmers Union, doing all their marketing material for a while. You know, all of that.
Did you?
As a designer, as a what they called back in the day Mac layout person. You know, that did all the promotional material, and things of that nature. So that's what I did, and all of the things, nothing I've ever learnt. And so this is something that I pass on to my students now in my work as an educator, is that there's never anything that you do or that's wasted if you apply it correctly.
That's right, you can implement all different kinds of skills into whatever you're going to do.
So this designed by moi.
What's that by you? I've framed it.
Designed by moi.
I'm going to put it in my frame.
Yeah, and this is not to pick up, this is to say
this is good.
When I think of the tens of thousands of pounds over the years I must have saved by just being able to do some of the work. Well, you know, if it's flimsy, ain't nobody going to take it seriously.
No, it's lovely. Let me ask you, you don't need to answer this. What do you think your mum would think about you now if she was here? With all what you've
I know my mum's proud of me.
Ah, that's good.
It's not what I believe. I know that in my bones, because
that's real good to hear.
She is me and I am her.
Yeah. So you made her proud. Well done.
And my grandparents are proud of me as well, and they've let me know that in a number of ways. And I'm blessed to have the family that I have who have let me know the same.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Yeah, well done. Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah. Miss Childeric.
Yes.
Oh my God. She went having asthma, and this one.
We're going to know the same people. We're going to know the same people.
Did you have a nickname at school?
Not at school, but at home I had a nickname.
Did you?
My nickname was Zebedee.
Zebedee from Magic Roundabout.
Yeah, because you know, when you're tall and langly, and I had a long neck.
Okay.
When I was a
child. Mine was cut, if you don't mind.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I hated it. I had an operation. I was really like, I needed an operation too, but now,
oh well, everybody wants It's true.
Sorry, people, but you know,
everyone's injecting themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. So now I'm excited about it. But before then, I was just like, no, I don't want it. You know, Childeric. Oh my God, there was only a few of us in Childeric. Can you remember? There's only a few. I remember being like 3 people of colour back then.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
There wasn't much more than that.
Well, I came
in. What year did you go?
I didn't come into nursery. I came into the first year.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I was that when I'm 5.
So that's
year
I remember
one,
things like first year, second year.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
remember all these.
So that's year 1.
Ah, okay.
It was.
Was it fun for you?
Yeah, it was quite multicultural. What was that? 1970. That was 75.
70 something, innit? But
I'm giving it away. That was 75. September.
There's only a few that I remember. Yeah.
And I still know many of those people to this day to this day, unfortunately, I believe earlier on this year I went to a funeral of one of my classmates, and just bumping into people that I hadn't seen in decades, and it was like no time had passed.
Is it?
Shout out to Andrew Abraham. Yeah.
Andrew Abraham.
I told you we're going to know the same people.
You know, everybody fancied him. Oh my God.
Well, he was my sister's year, so he was slightly younger than me. He was slightly younger than me. But yeah, he's doing good for himself. So
is he?
Bumped into Danny Baker.
Danny Baker. Oh,
you know,
listen there. Jason Rogers. Remember Jason Rogers? Vincent. Do you remember Vince Green? He had green eyes and curly hair. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
people.
Those are words, Rick.
Oh, yeah, we don't say that. Oh, sorry. But, you know, lovely hair.
Yeah.
Andrew Abraham.
Yeah.
And what about the doilies? You must know the doilies.
And the berries.
Maybe by face.
Yeah.
But the doilies, listen, you better not be related to me, you know.
I don't remember the doilies. But I say that to say it's not that I don't know you, but my memory's not the greatest.
And neither is mine. But them and the brothers, one of the brothers was on Big Brother.
Sorry, we're just having a personal conversation here, people.
Sorry, good morning, but this is very exciting, you know. I haven't met no one for a long time from back in the day. But do you remember he was on Big Brother? One of the brothers.
Yes!
You remember them?
Yes, I do remember.
You know them?
Yeah, that's right.
Them, the brothers.
The name's gone out of my head.
Yeah, you know who. Yeah.
So I remember watching, I was like, I know that guy.
Yes. People, this is a small world. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Wow. So your sister was in Andrew Abraham's,
That's right. So I was in Michael Elliott. I don't know. And
Thingy Elliott. He's got a brother, Timothy Elliott.
That's right.
That's
right. Everybody fancied Michael
Elliott. Oh gosh.
There was Michael Elliott and Wayne McGibbon.
Wayne McGibbon.
Unfortunately, is the one who had passed away. But it was
I
those
remember
two
him
in my class.
And he was handsome.
Very much so.
Very.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's such a That means I wonder if you remember Patrick Sutton.
I remember Patrick Sutton.
Do you?
Yeah. I remember the name.
But his mum and dad passed earlier on school time.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, people. Sorry. Oh my God, it's like a blast from the past. Wow. Yeah, so we did have our people who used to fancy in school. But no, none of them ever went out with me. You know, they knew who they wanted to pick. Now you want me now, too late.
But yeah, I mean, and I look back on those memories. I'm so blessed to have a wonderful childhood.
Yeah, when you think of it like that, it's so nice.
I mean, there's so many, you know, there's other things, but really, when I look at it as a whole, I had a wonderful childhood.
Yes.
And I look back with massive smiles on my face, you know, thinking about those times. And
did you used to go to Deptford Market?
Of course.
Do you remember Terry? He's the only household shop there. I went there the other day. Do you know he remembered me after 50 odd years? I said, Terry, you haven't changed. You must know Terry.
So I haven't been back.
You need to take a trip down there. It's the only standing back in the day shop. Yeah.
Right, okay.
You must
on the high street?
On the high street, yeah, next to the church.
Okay.
And he sells household things and that.
Okay,
yeah. Terry.
See, I haven't been back for some time, so yeah.
And I said to myself, once I've moved, I'm not going to go back. But something is drawing me back there. And it was Terry.
I've been out of the borough for 30 years and now I've been back for the last few years. Yeah.
Gosh. So you actually just went past it. You said you're not stopping there. I was like that. I'm like, no, I've left, that's it. But something draws you back there.
It's very nostalgic being back in Lewisham Borough.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Oh, what an interesting. So what are your hobbies? What do you like doing?
Hobbies? Oh my gosh, do I have time for hobbies?
Do you have time? If you have time for hobbies, what
I love playing badminton is my sport.
Oh,
so you know, I'm getting on in years, and you've got to keep yourself
fit.
You've got to keep yourself fit. So you know,
it's true enough.
So yeah, so badminton, I play that as much as I can. At the moment, we're coming back now to back to school or university or whatever. So during the summer break. Yeah, I was doing it 2-3 times a week. Yeah, because usually I'll get to only do it once a week. So getting back into that has just been
and it's good to exercise as well. Isn't
fantastic. It? And you know, you have your communities, don't you? So you know, you have your family community, your friend community. community, I've got my badminton community, and so on and so forth.
That's nice.
So I do that quite a bit. And to be honest, there's not a lot of time for anything else. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Do you?
A lot of podcasts. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really transparent. Over the last almost a decade now, I've been into the Archers.
Archers. Like
I'm making a confession, people.
That
Radio 4,
radio.
The Archers.
Archers.
And it makes my day Sunday,
Yeah.
10 a.m. to listen to the omnibus. Because to be fair, I don't listen to a lot of music once I get home.
Yeah, because if you're in it all day,
immersed in it, and so listening to voices, and that's where podcasts come in, and drama, radio drama, things of that nature. I'm into
Archers. I've heard of it. I'm going to Google that and see what that's about, because that's a back in the day thing, isn't it?
Oh gosh,
it's way back.
It's how many decades old?
Is it Warry type?
60, 70 years old.
One of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's the longest running serial in the world.
And they just speak.
Well, it's about agriculture. It's surrounding an agricultural family called the Archers.
I'll have to check it out just to see what your ears.
It's like EastEnders, but in the country.
Okay.
And I don't watch EastEnders anymore. But I haven't watched EastEnders for many years. But
okay. Yeah. What's your favourite food?
Oh, why?
I have to. You're Trinidadian, babe, so I need to know what is it, and make it good,
Right. So my extended family are West African.
Oh, Sierra Leone.
Yes,
that's where my partner's half Sierra Leone. Yeah.
So that's where my food heart lies.
Okay. I've not had a Sierra Leone dish. Yeah. I haven't.
Oh, right. Absolutely. So
what is it?
Well, all kinds of.
Is it the same like Nigerian food?
Ghanaian, and so you have your jollof, you have your, there's lots that make up that food, but it's very much a mix of West African cuisine. That's been my experience. I'm not coming across as an expert, just my experience of it. And prior to being a self-confessed vegan, I would.
Someone love you because that's what he is.
So yeah, I love that. So I think egusi soup with pounded yam is my all-time favourite. Now it would be plain okra with pounded yam.
What made you stop eating meat, or did you never?
So so one of the things is, for as long as I can remember. Oh gosh, you got me bearing soul here.
I am. You said you'd be transparent. So today's transparency.
Nothing to hide. I suffered from eczema as a baby, all the way through to my 40s. Yeah, and I tried everything. I'd gone non-dairy. I did go vegan for a little while, and then bacon, the swine, pulled me back. But I tried everything. I changed all my clothes, so in terms of fabric, I never wore anything synthetic, and I did a lot of stuff.
That's really interesting.
And did a lot of detoxing. And one of the things that I hadn't really given enough time to is my diet in terms of getting rid of meat per se.
Is that chicken as well?
Yeah, meat.
Everything as well. Wow.
Meat. And so having done that, that helped clear the thing that actually was the final nail in the coffin to clear up my skin was actually therapy. So becoming a vegan and then doing therapy,
because that's a hard journey to go through, isn't it, to being a vegan? I think anyway. It's a hard.
I think with anything, once you make up your mind, once you make up your mind and you give yourself no option. I think that's what I did for myself. There's no option,
so you have to do it like
so this is what it is.
So if you used to have let's just say a lamb chop now, would you flare up?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't? Okay.
No. But like I said, because I followed that up with therapy, which was the last bastion, that within 4 or 5 months of being on that journey, my eczema went.
Wow.
And has hardly returned in those last 8 or 9 years of that therapy journey.
That's so good.
So that's when for me, it was very much embedded in emotional stuff.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So that, or not to negate everything else that I'd done, because everything else had helped, but that was the last.
That was the last.
Yeah.
You know, I understand you with that. It's like when I started my locks, it had to be a journey. Something happened to me why I had to say, I have to start it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to hate locks.
Really?
Yeah. I'd look at them and think, you look dirty. Yeah. I was one of them.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I was.
I never ever thought that.
Yeah, I was. I'd be that kind of prejudicial. Yeah, I was like, I look now.
It's what works for you, right?
Yeah,
now.
yeah, no, it's good. It's a good spiritual journey for me. So yeah, it's good.
And I think that was the key, is the spiritual journey.
The spiritual journey, isn't it?
And getting to know who you are, who you are to you, not who you are for other people.
For other people
was another thing that I had to get to. Yeah.
I just want to shout out to my cousin Julius. We are not blood cousins, but I want to shout out. 13 years ago, he said something to me. He said, "You're a goddess." So I put myself as Goddess Jazzy. He said, "You're a goddess. Let them. Don't ever try and go for someone.
Absolutely.
Let them come."
Absolutely.
And it came up in my memory, and I just want to thank you, cuz, for that. I'm going to share it with every other young woman of colour that don't go and search for if you're looking for a man. Especially let it come to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know,
100%.
yeah, because I find ourselves that we like to try hard to get this. If it doesn't work, just sit back, it'll come.
Absolutely.
It'll come.
Absolutely.
You know, and if it doesn't, well, just be like me, wait for Amari Hardwick from from that show, you know him. Oh, fella. So
no.
yeah, you know, and we can't share. Because he's already got a white jelly, so he's waiting for me. So, you know, I want to say something as well here. This is something that I read on your like bio. Yeah, I'm just going to read it out. It says, "Reggae music is a much undeserved genre, even though it has had a music input on popular culture for over 50 years. I wanted to create spaces where the music can be celebrated and shared in its very wonderful form, very varied wonderful forms." I thought it was so touching.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was so touching. Did you make that as a poem?
No, I wrote it just as it was.
Yeah, it was nice. When I read it, I thought, oh, this is so uplifting, you know. Yeah.
I think and that's why I've mentioned before. You know, I've been in music education for a long time, and I started, and you can say this, and I started at the turn of the millennium.
Wow.
Right, and I've worked in probably most aspects of education, and I think there's a couple that I haven't, which is early learning and special needs.
And special needs. Okay.
So those two are the areas that I haven't been, but everything else I've been a part of in one way, shape, form or another. So I got to a point in my life where I wanted to create something that was my own, where I didn't have to answer to an institution or to anyone, where I could collectively garner all the skills and experience and abilities that I'd attained over the years, not just as a performer but as an educator, and create something myself.
Nice.
Well, I could share. I guess part of that is about legacy.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
About how can this live on? What, you know,
that's why I did change my name. I wanted to change my name this year.
Ah.
Yeah.
And you haven't because
my son said, "Mum, what about the things you've done?" Yeah. Because he said that.
I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah. But I really want to change my name. Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. You're not amalgamate it.
That's right. Because somewhere that I'm at, the credits has my name on that. So I don't know how, you know what I mean?
I think
if there's a way, fella, then hey,
there is, because
is there
is. So I revealed to you all, Fola Shade is not my given name. So I'm not going to tell you what my given name is, but I was born as something very different, and growing up, I never liked my name. It didn't fit you. It didn't fit.
Yeah.
It didn't fit, and I couldn't understand why I had the name that I had. Right? God, however, just going back to what you're saying, my parents are no longer alive. Yeah. So I won't change I was going to change my given name, but I won't. You won't. As a tribute to my parents, but I will amalgamate my names for sure.
So you can do that.
So you can. You can give yourself 100,000,001 names.
Because I just don't want this name.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's no meaning to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no meaning to it. Oh my God, that's why I love you.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's why I love her. Even though I met her today, I'm probably back in school. That's why I love you. So I can amalgamate it.
Amalgamate it. So to have all your names together. So it doesn't matter what kind of search is done, your name will always come.
It will still come as that. High 10. You see why it's good to talk, because
but the other thing you have to remember is if you do that, that's got to be on all your documents.
Yeah.
Right? So
but that's okay.
Yeah.
But because I done so much, I said, you know what? I want something that represents me.
Yeah.
And this name does not represent me.
Yeah.
And I was watching something the other day, and the guy actually delved deep to know that his name was a slave trade name, and he changed it. Well, we all are, but he literally delved deep to say, I don't want it no more.
Well,
you know,
I know that anyway. If my surname is Phillip,
and mine is right.
Right. So it's Phillip. My mother's maiden name is Murray, which is Scottish.
Yeah.
Phillip is from a plantation in Grenada.
Oh,
so
you researched.
Grenada's a small island.
Okay,
you know,
you researched it. That's good.
So again, you're aware of these things, and I'm very cognizant that I'm carrying this name, but this name is imbued by the lifeblood of my family, and what I have of my father now is only my name. Is my name.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say only my name, but is my name.
Yeah.
And he gave me my name.
Okay.
He gave me all my names. So from my first, my middle, and you know, he didn't give me my last name, but you know, that's part of him. So that's the reason why I won't get rid of it. But I would also, but it's also in tribute to them. But also it's about, but this is who I see myself as.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see myself as a global person.
Good on you. Global, international person.
Yeah,
if you don't
absolutely.
mind. Yes.
Absolutely.
So in 2 minutes time, we're going to have a little 5-minute break.
No problem.
You know, so you can eat and drink your tea. Did you get tea or coffee?
My vegetable bake from Greg's is cold now anyway. So.
I gave you the option to eat it, for crying out loud. And she was all posh. Oh, now I'll be all right. You know?
Well, I didn't want any pastry in my tea.
Yeah, it's true. And I was just zoomed it on you, you know. Oh, this first hour's been great. Oh my God. So many things are going through my head. I'm just like, you're giving me that ignition now about amalgamating. That's just made me,
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. You want to know my name? I'm going to tell you. It's going to be Empress is the first. What's the second one? Beloved. And something else now, because my son told me differently. Yeah, but my first name would have been Empress, Beloved, and something else.
Wonderful.
Just free like that.
Why not?
Yeah, now I can amalgamate. You see?
Yeah.
That's why it's good to talk. It's good to talk. So in 1 minute's time, we're going to go for a little break, and we'll be back to follow with more interesting info after she's eaten her vegetable patty.
I'm really looking forward to sharing with you all things about reggae choir.
Yes,
all
please.
about,
let us know. Tell us everything.
Yes. And holistic education, which is something that I'm very much interested in.
Cool. Okay. Now you can break.
Sorry about that.
Right, let me get back on there. Oh, gosh. Okay, welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy Show. How are we? We've got another hour to go. Our fella's going to explain about the journey of the Windrush. You're going to tell us more about the Windrush.
I want to explain a little bit more about reggae choir, and other things that we do, other things that I do as fola, the educator, for want of a better term.
Yes.
So we are Windrush. I'm going to repeat again. Saturday 21st of September at Catford Theatre Broadway, or rather Catford Broadway Theatre. Doors open 7 o'clock, show starts 7:30. Early bird tickets are £20, thereafter it's 25, and it will be an emotional roller coaster ride, an immersive one night only performance where we are commemorating, celebrating, uplifting, giving thanks to those who came before us as part of the Windrush generation in the late 40s, our grandparents and then our parents thereafter, and us and our children. And for some of you, your grandparents yourselves. So we're 5, 6 generations deep now,
isn't it?
Here at least, and I'm talking about en masse. Of course, there is definitely history of us as black people being in this country well before 1948. So I don't want to make it out that we've only been here since that time. We've been here for a very long time. That's historical fact. I'm not making it up. Have a look. There's this thing called Google. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Additionally, for all singing and music enthusiasts, I'm running a workshop, a singing workshop at Bernie Grant Art Centre. It's called Voices Unleashed. Again, it's something that I'm very much interested in, is the transformative journey of ourselves when we give of ourselves, when we surrender to a process, knowing that we want to be different at the end of that process. So we start one way, and a transformative journey is as simple as going to the barber's or a hairdresser's. You come in looking one way and you leave something else in another way, or going to buy some clothes or something like that, you know, something which fundamentally changes in you through that journey. And so I'll be running a workshop called Voices Unleashed at Bernie Grant Art Centre.
That's for
anyone.
Okay.
Sorry, I should state it's for adults, 18 plus. At Bernie Grant Art Centre in Tottenham, and it will be facilitated by some of the UK's top voice and movement instructors. So we have fantastic, these are people who've been in my life for at least a couple of decades again. Randolph Matthews, who's a renowned vocalist and performer, very much in the vein of Bobby McFerrin.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, so we're talking about vocal percussion, all the mixed with jazz and so on. But he's an amazing performer, and he will be doing all things stagecraft. We have Muna Escoffrey, for those who know the Escoffrey sisters, who were a major landmark gospel group from back in the day.
Were they American?
No, British.
They're British.
British.
The Escoffreys,
yeah, the Escoffrey sisters. So Muna Escoffrey, she's going to be running the intentional sounding workshop, where it has much more to do with reconnecting with your inner voice as well as your external voice. So these are singing workshops with a difference. They're not just let's all get together and have a bit of a knees up, and that's not to dismiss other singing workshops that are out there, but I wanted to create and curate something that was that had something of a different perspective. And lastly, we have Joseph Roberts, who is a music professional and an educator in his own right, composer, conductor, producer, and all things wonderful. He's going to be running the more ensemble group singing, vocal blending, harmonic workshop side of it.
And how long is it, a course?
And it's an all day, one day, from 10 to 6. So it's intense, where you will be trying all workshops.
Interesting.
So you could try Randall's, and then as soon as Randall's finished, you have a little break, then you go to the next one. So everybody gets a piece of everything. Lunch is included. So this is very top tier quality.
When is this for?
This is Saturday the 16th of September.
So that's
at Bernie Grant Arts Centre. If you want to know more, you can go directly to Bernie Grant Arts Centre website, or you can go to Reggae Choir website, which is reggaechoir.com. And you can find out.
That sounds so interesting.
Yeah.
Why did we have this in school? When I listened to that, and I hated music in school.
Me too.
And art. Isn't it?
I loved art.
But I love art now.
Yeah.
I hated it. And she used to give me a rollout. I know. A bit stranger now.
I loved art at school because I had a great art teacher. I had a great art teacher. She was very supportive. And I went on to do a foundation in art. And I thought,
you can draw.
I used to be able to draw. Listen, guys, if you go to my Instagram, follow the music, you will see. So my niece, she loves drawing. So we did a drawing competition. So you can see how that turned out because I posted all of that online. So it's just lovely to be able to share that with her as well. But yeah, myself and my sister, we were big on drawing.
Were you?
Yeah.
But you didn't like music in school? That's weird, isn't it?
Well, no, because it was very much detached. So I went to, as I mentioned,
I forgot.
And so I think when I went in. Is it 81?
Did you play the violin at that time?
No, we had Miss. Excuse me, for all of those who went to Haberdashers Primary School. I think our music teacher was Miss Griffin. She was lovely. Or Miss Griffin or Miss Griffiths, I cannot remember. But it was all things bright and beautiful. And I didn't relate.
So when you had a class like that, what would you do?
I mean, you had to do it.
You had to do it.
You had to do
you
it.
See, your school was much better than me. We had none of that.
Yeah, I had to do it. No, I was a good girl at school. I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want my mum to get a letter home or a phone call. No.
We had a teacher called Mr. Della Valle.
Okay.
Oh, I know. And he used to just play instruments. And I just get fed up and think, when's this lesson going to end?
Well, I think one of the things. Sorry to cut you.
No, that's all right. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, no, because one of the things that I think is really important and has changed a lot in education, because we're talking at least 40 plus
years ago.
Come on, is about the relatability of these subjects now. And you can see yourself reflected in the subject matter that you're studying, which is very, very different from back in my day.
Because I like art now and I love music. I love live music. Yeah. But back then I hated it. But
absolutely. I mean, now I've done a lot of work with in adult education. Back in the day, I used to run BTEC National Diploma courses and so on in musicianship. And I say all that to say, at the time I used to have a live events company with some business partners, and it's fantastic to get these students and give them real life work experience, so they can come and work on events. You know, how is an event put
really
together,
made a difference, you know.
So that wasn't exist.
That wasn't back then at all.
Yeah, or at least in my experience.
To me there was nothing like that. And going to museums, like arty museums, cultural museums, that wasn't even back in our day. But now you'll find me in any one of them. You know.
Do you know what? I remember, you know, back in the day we used to look. I remember taking my first plane ride with the school. So this must be early 80s. A plane. We went to Spain, Barcelona. Yes. I don't know how my mum pulled it off. Give thanks. But it happened, and I remember going to the Gaudi building. So so there were certain aspects of art that I was exposed to, but not that was reflecting.
That's the thing.
My people, my community, until I went and studied at university, and my brain was blown, because at the time when I started studying, so this is very late 80s and so on, there was the explosion of black art was coming up, like in a real way. You had Spike Lee was coming out with this stuff, and latterly you had John Singleton coming out with this stuff. But then you had the black arts movement with Sonia Boyce and Keith, excuse me, my brain's gone, and you know, people of that era. And I remember going to, you know, the galleries, and like my brain literally, I don't know how my head stood on my shoulders,
because it's so overpowering as well. You've never been overwhelmed, you know, you're just like,
I was in tears. That's how, again, I use the word visceral. Sonia Boyce probably is my absolute favourite British artist, and those who don't know, Google.
Google.
You know.
But you were lucky, you got a plane ride from school.
I know, right?
Lucky.
Plane ride, remember hovercraft?
Yeah!
Hovercraft to France, to Calais.
That's why you're bougie like this.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, hovercraft as well. Deary me. I ain't
no matter, because I can get down, but you know, we can be born in a place and not of the place.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because recently I've been thinking, what I've done, and this is not me boasting, when it is in a way, it doesn't suit where I'm at.
Yeah, and there's nothing. I'm very proud of where I come from and where my roots are, but I'm very cognizant that my family worked their butts off to afford me the opportunities that I'm able to explore.
Yeah, definitely.
So I make no apologies for the journey that I've taken.
Good. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's very good to hear. So she's been on hovercraft. You young people don't know hovercraft. It's like a submarine thing.
It literally is an inflatable. It's a boat. It's like a ferry, and it's got an inflatable thing. What do you call it?
That like a
what do you call it? Armband. You know, there's like those water armbands that you have for swimming.
Call it,
what do you call it? But
like a swimming band, but it's like that around it.
Yeah, down the bottom of this, and it would skim the water.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. You could get to Calais in like half an hour.
I bet you could, couldn't you? I wonder if I could get into that school. Haberdasher was one of the hard, that and Addy and Stanhope were the hardest schools to get into. Deptford Green, take anyone.
I can't say nothing about that.
Anyone, and, you know, and here is anyone for you. This is what Addy and Stanhope looks like, yeah? This is Deptford Green.
Oh no, and we're still looking good.
Yeah, God. And the thing is, I think we were very different schools. We were still polite to each other. I don't like how these schools are now. If we met up, you know, we had different uniforms. We were still decent with each other, I think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't think there was any...
Do you know what? I didn't have, I genuinely didn't have any kind of brush-ups or anything like that at school, or any kind of interactions with any of the other schools. But by the time, because I went to sixth form, so by the time you went to sixth form...
So you didn't go college straight after?
No, I went straight from sixth year. No, because my school had sixth form, so I went lower sixth.
All right, Mother, God help her. All right.
Some people went to college. Afterwards, but
I didn't know you had sixth form.
Eventually, I'm darling. Please.
They had sixth form. These lots. I had to struggle and go to.
But by the time you got to sixth form, you had what's called sixth form consortium. So you would have, so you would mix with all the other schools in the area. So you would have Deptford Green, you would have Hatcham-Wood, Addy and Stanhope, all of those schools.
Gosh, you know, was it larger there?
Yeah, so that's the time when you got to see boys proper.
Yeah,
because I went to a girls' school.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
you had the boys' school at the top of the hill. The girls' school.
What was that? Was that
so
school?
You had Haberdashers as boys.
That's right. Yeah,
and the girls' school
was down. Yeah.
So you kind of
and back into school,
you know. But the sixth form was when you could legitimately, because it was co-ed by that time. Yeah. I know. God.
If you could,
people were starving. Trust me.
I think for the first year, Deptford Green, everyone was just, you know.
Yeah.
But if you could go back, before I ask you that, now with all what you've done now. If I had £1 million now, here's £1 million. I said, right, well, I'll take this £1 million. Let's just say it's the biggest amount of money. Would you take that or be 6 years old with all the knowledge that you have now? and go back to
That's
being 6?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, or take
because you're in jeopardy of changing history.
Oh, what a reply! What a reply! You people who said you take the money, you know.
So
what a reply.
So that, yeah, there are things that I wish would never happen, but because I don't have a magic wand to say, but if this didn't happen, would this have happened?
Yeah.
So it's that thing. What do you do? You know. So I would have to take the money. Because I know the impactful change I can make with that.
Okay. So she's a money grabber as well.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to come up with something so wisdom.
With reason, but with reason, I would take the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to be 6 years old with all of this knowledge you've got?
No, because I'll put the question back to you. Your life is here because of a series of events and interactions. Some of those series of events and interactions you might view as positive, some of those as negative, but collectively they've brought you here. You change one of those things, if you're happy being where you are now, changing one of those things could jeopardize your mother. Yeah. Could you have had
grandmother as well?
And grandmother. Yeah. Could those things have been in your life in the way that they are?
That's true. Oh my God, why do you have to think it's so deep?
So this is, but gosh, it's a big question.
That's a great answer though. Nobody else has answered like that. I just took the money and ran.
No, so
that is cool. That's going to make me think now. Yeah.
So I would say
so something would change if you.
Yeah. So if it was, I go back to being that age. I wouldn't want to. Let me be clear. But I go back to being that age with the knowledge I have. But it doesn't change, or it won't change the significant people who are in my life.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because
that would be the caveat that I would put. Then yes, I'd go back.
Okay, and what would you tell your 16-year-old self if you had to tell the 16-year-old self something now?
My 16 or 6?
16 now. 16. So we moved off. We know you're going to take the money and money grabber. So
£1 million not go that far.
It's true, I know. Remember back in the day, that would be everything.
Yeah, but £1 million back in the day is probably 2.5 now, or 3 million right now. You know what I mean? But 16-year-old.
What advice would you give your 16-year-old self? What would you say? Listen, Missy, I don't want you to do this, or I want you to do that.
16 is still such an impressionable age.
It is,
and
compared to how 16-year-olds are now as well.
Yeah. Before I'd say anything to my 16-year-old self, I would give my 16-year-old self a loving, long hug. Because I know what my 16-year-old self was going through at that age, and all I could really and truly say to her is that it'll be all right. Because I don't want to impact upon the things she has to learn.
Yeah, things have to go through.
And the things she has to go through. Yeah. But to know that through that journey, she's going to be fine.
That's a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
So far now you're a money grabber, number one.
But I'm a loving and compassionate money grabber.
That's right. That's right. Try to stay out, Libra. Oh, so now the next question is this: if there's one thing you want to change in this world, what is it and why?
Oh my goodness!
I know.
If there is one
thing and why, give us a great explanation on why, as well as what it is you want to change.
There's one thing. I'm thinking of the thing that will then have a massive ripple effect on the world for it to be a very different place than it is today. So,
what to think? Shall I play a song? What do you think?
I would say if there's one thing to change, is that the way that every single person lives should be led with kindness and love. And if that is the value system, then many of the things that we are enduring right now, all things we are enduring, won't be the case.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So true. That's one thing we're lacking, I think, is love. The most simplest emotion, and we still don't have it.
Yeah. I think that
it's beautiful, beautiful answer. God, she's got me there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, no, you got me there. That's right. You're right. Yeah. Maybe we'll be in a better place.
We would be,
because this is too much. And I think the other day I was at a launch thing, and the question was, are our children ungrateful? When they said our, they mean our as in our, right? And everybody said yes, and I agreed. Yes, I think they're very ungrateful. Do you remember growing up and being grateful for the one thing you had, the one pair of shoes you had, if you lived that way?
Yeah, I
just think they're very ungrateful now, and they always want more.
I think that for me that there's also about context as well. Right. So I'm hardly ever looking at something just for that sake.
Yes.
Well, there are a myriad of things that have impacted this situation, right? And so we live in a very individualistic, divisive, contentious, capitalistic society.
Definitely.
Right? Definitely. Which predicates our status based on what we earn and what we have.
Yeah. And what we look like as well.
What we look like and all of those things.
Yeah, all of those things, yeah.
Absolutely. So, I think...
How will we overcome that? How are we going to, as people, how are we going to change them?
I don't have the answers to that.
You know, I've been wanting these answers from the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, from way back, and still nothing. It seems like it's just a bit a more advanced situation now.
I think I think what's really, really different from now as opposed to when we were younger, because we are Gen X, as opposed to, I think before us is a silent generation, before that was baby boomers, before that and before that and before that. So each generation is in contention with the generation before. Right?
Yeah.
Because things move on.
Yeah.
But things have moved on to such a degree, even 5 years ago is different to what it was 10 years ago.
Honestly, yeah.
You know, so
I can't even keep up.
And one of the major things I think is our children are completely distracted.
Yeah.
They're distracted by this thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Computer, the TV, everything.
You know.
They've got no time. They've just got no time. Everything is so rushy and
things are rushed, but things that there are information coming at them from lots of different angles, and that information isn't necessarily based on any kind of truism or anything.
No, that's right. It's just there,
just like opinionated, and you know what, and so on and so forth. Whereas, look, this take for example, music. Back in the day, I was having a conversation with a brother from another mother who we shared the stage for the first time in so many years, so it was just like a reunion. Anyway, he was like, yeah, folks, remember back in the day, we only had a couple of ways to access music, right? So we were like, okay, Top of the Pops Thursday, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock straight.
We had radio,
yes,
and we had the shebeen. You go out to a club. You had 3 ways.
Yeah, and that was it, and it was an hour enough. And that was hour enough.
But that was our technology, though. That's the as far as technology at that point allowed us to do. And then, as we're going into the 90s, you remember with Napster and LimeWire, the advent of, you know, being able to download. So that blew up everything. That's where Soulja Boy came out of, like the first major viral
from
music star. Yeah, it was from that.
Do you think we should teach our children and grandkids or what have you the past? I'll give you an example. I asked my son to put on a record. He said, Mum, how do you rewind this? I said, Misha, you can't rewind a record. He didn't know. Sorry, son, to call
guys, listen, you can go on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube right now and search pranks on children where they're given objects from back in the day, they're told, okay, how do you use it? So you know, like the rotary phone, you know,
that one,
right. You know, all of these kinds of things. They don't know how to use it. Do you remember what was the thing? The roller,
the diary thing. Yeah,
but
exactly. Address book.
A Rolex. I can't remember what it's called.
And you press it and it goes to A.
All of those kinds of things. Go on YouTube because it shows you how fast things
have gone, isn't it?
Even a CD.
Listen, I'm still on CD. I'm old-fashioned still because I don't know how to download this and that and whatever. I don't know how to do it. I want to stay like that. And I bet you're the one.
All right, so that's the thing.
Well, yeah,
right, so that's the thing. There's no virtue.
No.
There's no virtue in staying a dinosaur. Right?
But I bet you're the one who taps in the supermarket. You don't use cash, do you?
I tap at the supermarket. I use both.
Yeah, but mostly you. I can see you tap. That's why you're the problem with this society. You and they use them. You.
I do.
Right?
I do both. I do
like,
both.
You very much don't do the cash. I can see it in you. Just tap.
Sorry, have I got any fashion?
Look here.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I went to a festival the other day and I went to buy something. The lady said,
no
it's card. This is me. What? I've only got cash. I only deal with cash. Oh God.
Yeah.
So I had to be hungry.
You're sucking on your saliva. Right?
Yes. I'm still trying to listen to what's her name? Erica Badu. You know what I mean?
Oh, you went there.
I went there.
Oh wow.
And this is the VIP part as well.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
How was it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I do want to leave though.
I
The friend that got the ticket. Oh, she's lovely. She's just and being up close and personal was just amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's lovely. I just love all that, you know.
Did you get to meet her?
I wanted to, but my friend, she wanted to go early. And because she got the ticket, I just had to go, you know, so.
Had to go. I've got to see Patrice Rushen this year.
What?
Jazz Cafe. Yes.
Forget Me Not.
Forget Me Not.
God, does she look the same?
Does she? Like, it was ridiculous. The whole place was popping.
Did you see her? Did you go to meet her afterwards or anything?
Well, I met her manager because I went with some. Actually, listen, it's a great thing. Reggae choir, the members of Reggae choir are absolutely wonderful. Sorry, I'm just going to do a sidebar.
Shout out to them as well. Shout out to the Reggae choir.
I'm going to do a sidebar.
Please do. Yeah.
I had no idea when I came up with the idea of. When I came up with the idea to do a reggae choir, I had no idea of the extent of the community that was to be created.
Wow.
And the people of Reggae Choir are absolutely unbelievable people who have within them a multitude of skills and experience and stuff to share. Anyway, I mention all of that to say I've really enjoyed some of the best concerts because of these members.
Yeah.
Because they were like, Fola, do you want to come? So I went to see Patrice Rushen, having just finished leading a workshop in at Bernie Grant Arts Centre, which is our weekly one on a Tuesday. And so one of the members goes, yeah, I'm meeting Patrice's manager. And
the job
tickets. Yeah. I was like, yeah, because otherwise I'm just going home.
Yeah.
So we got there just like 9:30. And I didn't meet Patrice Rushen, met the manager, met other members of the band.
But they're still as important as her as well. Anyway,
oh, absolutely. You know? So I saw them. I saw Gladys Knight this year again through another.
How does she look?
Gladys Knight.
She's like timeless, isn't she?
She honestly, she looked like she was 12.
Wow.
I mean, and I'm not just saying that because she had her hair in a ponytail, and, you know, and she had this really trendy. Furry jacket on, like a puffer jacket on, and she looked up to date, man. She looked up to date, and it was cold as anything because we were outside.
Oh, outside, yes.
It was. I mean, Gladys Knight is actually one of my favourite singers of all time. So it was a dream come true, and it's her last tour. Went to see her. Went to see Mavis Staples. Again through a choir member.
What did she sing?
If you're ready, come go with me.
God, she's got a beautiful voice. Can I sing on my birthday? When I come to here, I've just
you've got some coin. You've got some coin. No.
You see this woman? I gave her £1 million. She still want to take. She's just like Oprah and rock.
But so
oh wow!
So you just in terms of your reply to Erica, managed to see someone. Saw Goldie. Remember Goldie?
Goldie, as
in a city life, in a city pressure. Goldie from Drum and Bass.
Goldie, the artist. Oh
yeah.
How is he?
It was wicked. We were at Ronnie Scott's.
He doesn't age.
Same gold teeth.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he looks exactly the same. Yeah, but it was great. I mean, the place was popping. I don't know if Ronnie Scott's is the place to see it, but you know, it was good. It was cool. Anyway,
it's nice when you get into that kind of world and just, do you know? To be honest, I'm not just saying it because he's come on here and I've met him. I tell you, the most humblest artist I've met, and that's Tipper Irie.
Shout
out to you, Tipper. You are just like a brother and everything. You are amazing. You're so calm and collected, and you know he's not boasty and nothing. He's just
he has a lot to boast about.
Honestly, hasn't he? But he's just so down to earth, everything.
So supportive.
Everyone, he was doing the letter, the signature. He was so patient.
Yeah.
You know, you were tired because you're doing your little thing and what have you, but he was doing, and oh God, it's lovely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got a lot of time.
And you as well, Winston Reedy.
Absolutely. No, I have to say, again, one of the bonuses, and I didn't think of this about Reggae Choir, are the relationships that we've garnered with these people who are our heroes and sheroes.
And icons that we legends.
And this is one of the things that's key to Reggae Choir. One of the mission statements, if you like, and value systems is about upholding the legacy of those heroes and sheroes who allow us, through their hard work and sacrifice and so on. So you really don't know a lot of what these people have had to go through for us to continue to enjoy their music. But also it's reciprocal, because what they've given to us, we as Reggae Choir, and I'm only talking about us at the moment, have been able to give back, have been able to physically show them what their music has meant to us.
That is so beautiful.
Individually, members have been able to speak with a Janet Kay, or speak with a Tipper Iris, speak with a Black Slate or Winston Reedy, and the list goes on of people that we've interacted with, to let them know what they mean to us.
You all mean a lot, honestly, if you tears to my eyes. Woo!
So this is not Reggae Choir.
What's your ethos? What's the Reggae Choir's ethos?
Yeah, so
what's there?
So it's multi-dimensional. So on one hand, it's open to anybody who wishes to sing reggae music, right? So it's inclusive and embracive on that level, and we look at many forms of reggae music. So from rocksteady, from back in the day,
I love it.
And we go into conscious music and lovers rock, obviously, contemporary reggae music, and we give sometimes pop music, a reggae twist and things of that nature. The ones that we haven't really touched up on a lot, I would like to look into it a lot more to see how we would do it. It's dancehall, because dancehall is very MC led as opposed to melody led. So it's about how to make it more conducive for ensemble singing, group singing.
It may work though. It may work. When you think of it, it may work.
A lot more. So that, like I said, that's on one hand. That's how we can, as potential members, consume the music. On the other hand, Reggae Choir is absolutely about upholding the legacy of reggae music and the practitioners, the musicians, not just the singers, but the producers, those people,
lighting the sound and everything else,
and the artists, the musicians who made up a lot of the sound of what we love today. So it's about uplifting and upholding that legacy. Also, it's about cultural ownership of a music that has been so, I want to choose my words very carefully, but it has been so, bit like jazz. Bit like jazz.
Explain.
Where jazz is the expression of African Americans at a particular time. Curated, created, made famous by, but over a period of time were taken out of their hands. They no longer were the gatekeepers, let's put it that way, of that music. And I can see aspects of that happening with reggae music. That's a larger discussion to be had, but it is also about that as well. And that's how we're able to continue to spotlight, specifically in this country as well, because we as British born, so for instance, I in many ways class myself, I'm a British citizen, point blank and period, right? I'm born in this country of Caribbean parentage via Africa. I'm very clear about that, which in many respects makes me a global citizen. And I have family who live in Europe, I have family who live...
Did you do your DNA?
I haven't done my DNA yet.
I've done mine.
I would only do it via a certain company.
Oh, that happens to us.
Yeah.
So my one might have been the wrong. I'm 70% Nigerian.
There you go. The only reason why I say that is because, again, I hope I'm not overusing this word. I'm just aware, I'm cognizant about who I'm giving my DNA to and how, read the small print, and what happens to that DNA after.
Oh,
so
gosh,
there is one company that takes it and destroys it afterwards.
Are they expensive?
They might be. and trust me when I say pocket right now, right? But my DNA is mine. I am the only one of 8 billion people on this planet. Yeah. Yeah. So
but you'll find that you've got thousands of cousins once you've had this
but I'm saying that what I have to give is right. Henry, sorry, I say all of this to say we have to. This is why history is important. There are conglomerates, absolutely, who are benefiting billions upon billions of the cells of Henrietta Lacks, who is one of one. This is why it's important. Yeah, I didn't think of that, you know. So, I wouldn't give that out to. But anyway, I've researched, and there is one company. It's a black-owned company. Okay. And they are very much African ancestry. Have a look at that. Okay. And they can go even more detailed. So it's not just about a region, but it's an actual place.
That's what I need. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah. And they have the biggest database, black database, diasporic database in the world. Because I've got some
European in me.
Yeah, but we would do.
But that amount of Baltic. Right.
But it is.
Is it?
It's truly reflective of our journey.
Wow.
You might not like it, but this is it. The history doesn't care about what you like or what you don't like. It's based on fact, right?
Yeah.
The fact is of our journey, how we.
I'm going to try this one though.
Yeah. Have a look.
I need to know the
I'll send you the
please.
link for that.
So I can, send that.
I remember what's her face? Forgive me.
I know the cook,
Angela Ma.
Oh, Angela Ma.
She did several posts about this because she went down that route as well, African ancestry, and that company as well, and was really bigging it up. And she did that as well. Okay. I say a shout out to Angela Ma. I've been a fan of her since day one, and if it's too late now, I got my tickets early to go and see Angela Ma's farewell final bow, I believe it's called, at Catford Theatre.
Where was that advertised then?
That was advertised all over the place. You just didn't get there in time.
Obviously didn't get the memo.
You didn't get there. As soon as I saw it, because I knew that was going to be sold. As soon as I saw it, I was like, let me get those tickets because my sister's birthday, October month. So I just thought, let me get
Listen, I hope it's going to sell me out with this one.
Listen, make sure this is sold out. We are Windrush, Saturday, 21st of October.
And the 16th is the...
And the 16th of September, which is that next week?
Next week, I think,
Is next week, is called Voices Unleashed. If you've ever wanted to have a deeper relationship with your voice or have an understanding of your voice capacity, then this is the workshop for you. And it will be a real transformative journey. I'm not just saying that as a selling point. It absolutely will be because of the people that we have involved. These experts, Randolph Matthews, Muna Escoffrey and Joseph Roberts, who collectively have close to 100 years of experience in music, music production, recording artistry, and so on and so forth. So, and they're award-winning people, multi-award-winning.
And that's the all-day 10 to 6.
And that's all day from 10 until 6. Lunches included. There'll be breaks in between, and you'll have the opportunity to mix with lots of other people. So it will be a social space. You also there'll be a Q&A during the day, during the program. So you have the opportunity to ask questions of these facilitators as well.
Very nice. And that's just for the one day.
And it's just for the one day. Get your tickets now. The tickets are £70. Please understand that for that money that you're getting, because some people are like, oh my gosh, but you're going to spend triple that to go and see Beyonce, which is absolutely fine. These people are, I say this to say that you will invest in that if you believe that what you're going to get out of it is worth it and is going to be as much of a transformative experience as you wish to have. And I can assure you it absolutely will be.
You heard it here. Miss Haberdasher ass slash True Derek slash £1 million taken from me. You know, where's the respect? So, Fola, we've got our next 15 minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to bring to the table, as to say? Any shout outs, anything to ask anyone to? Wait a minute. Please, if you still want to contact, you can contact us on 07308 895 668. Call, text, or WhatsApp. Or follow us on Facebook on Love the Beat Radio, Twitter at Love the Beat Radio, and Instagram at Love the Beat Radio. And Fola will tell you her Instagram as well if you'd like to get in contact with her as well.
So you can get in touch with me personally. You can DM me via my Instagram, which is Fola the Music, FOLATHEMUSIC, Fola the Music. If you want to know it, all things Reggae Choir, you can do so via our website, which is reggaechoir.com. Instagram is the same name, Facebook same name, Twitter same name.
Lovely.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out.
Yes, please do. The stage is yours.
To each and every single Reggae Choir member who has been a part of Reggae Choir since its beginning, 2012, September 2012. And so many people have passed through our doors.
So you'll be having an anniversary this month.
So we had the anniversary last year, which was the 10th anniversary.
10! And
that's what we had at Hackney Empire. So that was very touching. I want to give a shout out to Audrey Scott and the Reggae
Miss
Fraternity.
Audrey, I still wait for you to come on the show, Audrey. You promised me.
She's been an absolute supporter. They presented me. They got me good on stage. Oh my gosh, ugly cry, crocodile tears. They got me good. Presented me with an award for my years of working in the community, bringing reggae music to the community. So very grateful. So first of all, shout out to each and every single Reggae Choir member that have come through the doors of Reggae Choir member, those who came through the doors term 1 and who are still with Reggae Choir today. And I'm gonna say their names because they deserve.
Yes, please do.
I'm giving a shout out to Mary Richards, to Margaret Jones, who are practically day ones, specifically, and then there are long-term veteran members who continue to support Reggae Choir just through coming term in, term out. Without them, Reggae Choir doesn't exist. So I want them to know how much I absolutely, I don't think they know how much they mean to me. Each and every single person.
Yes.
Without them, like I said, there is no Reggae Choir. Without them, you guys would not know about Reggae Choir in the way that you have experienced them. They bring joy and have impacted the lives of thousands of people who have come to see us perform in various spaces. So shout out to them first of all, and then secondly, shout out to every person through every industry, through every sector, individual or organisation who have and continue to support Reggae Choir from then to this day. And then I want to give a shout out to all of those who continue to support me in order to do the work that I do, of which Reggae Choir is one, and holistic education is another. So yeah, there's a lot of blessings to be put forward to a lot of people. And
you've just given everyone that, and it's good. What I wanted to ask you is, do you go to schools to perform?
We have done, yes.
You have done,
absolutely.
Yeah? How's that gone? How's that
gone?
Because
they've not seen anything. Look, what's wonderful, and this is what we want to get to. When I started Reggae Choir, I was aware of only one in London. I can't talk about outside of London. Only one Reggae Choir kind of collective that was happening, and I believe it was called London City Reggae Choir, that used to operate outside of Brixton Rec. Right?
Oh.
So this is when I very first started. I don't know if they're around anymore. If anybody knows if they're around, please get in touch with me directly, because I would really like to get in touch.
So that's the only one in the whole.
So when I started in 2012. So, you know, I didn't think there needed to be, when I started, there didn't need to be another gospel group. There didn't need to be another pop or rock kind of thing, because there were many of those out there. But not enough of this. And I'll just give a quick story. Some of you have heard me say this story before, but really the genesis of Reggae Choir came out of an episodic documentary that was on BBC called Reggae Britannia. I think it came out in 2011. You can watch it still now.
I think I watched a bit of it, I think.
Yeah, you can watch the episodes on YouTube right now. It's out there. And it culminated in a showcase of legends of different subgenres of reggae music, you know, whether it be two-tone or lovers rock or, you know, whatever. And so I believe they had Desmond Decker, they had Ali Campbell, they had Janet Kay, they had Carol Thompson. I mean, they had everybody, Dennis Bobo, everybody was on it, and I think it was at the Barbican. Now, I say all of that to say...
And it was on late.
And it was on, of course, these things were always on late, right?
You know?
But the camera panned the audience, which was packed, right? And I remember seeing the faces of you can watch it now, that same concert is online. Every single face was either laughing, cackling, smiling, they were dancing, different race, creed, colour, man, woman, everybody was up dancing and singing every single lyric, despite didn't matter who was on stage.
Just a lot.
I swear to you, at that point, no more research needed to be done. I looked at it and I literally pointed to the screen and said, "That's what I'm going to do." And I spoke with maybe 2 other people about the idea, and they said, "Do it." And I've never, and there was no naysayers, there was no other voices in my head to say don't do it. It was really clear.
And you've just done it.
And I've just done it, and there's never been a naysayer since.
That's
good,
yeah.
And I say all of that to say it's wonderful now to see more reggae, other people are creating their version of reggae choirs. And that's exactly how there should be a plethora of choirs singing reggae music throughout this country and beyond, in the same way as they do gospel, in the same way as they do rock, in the same, and it's by that way we're going to continue to uplift the legacy. It's only going to happen if we are able to work together. In that collective idea to make that the case. If we continue to work in silos, it's not going to happen. So that's my shout out to those other choirs that do reggae music. Why not all of us come together and do a massive concert? Only reggae choirs, only choirs that do reggae music come together. I'm going to put a shout out.
I think you should, and give it to the universe too.
Make it happen.
Oh, fine. I want to just say thank you so much. We've got 7 minutes still.
And, my pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's been
I didn't know it was going to be 2 hours.
Well, now you do.
2 hours? I would have come with something a bit more scripted.
Oh, no, it's been really, really good and really informative as well, you know.
No problem.
And it's just glad to know that maybe I know you from back in the day. That part is the one that's
what we know is we're from the same place.
Same place.
We know the same people.
Same people. Same school.
Same school.
Apart from the secondary school. You know, cough, cough. Some people had 6th form at school. Some people had to go to college. But it's been really, really a pleasure. Honest to God, really a pleasure.
Thank you.
And you look beautiful. You know, you look like Jamelia. You know Jamelia?
I love Jamelia.
Yeah, you know Jamelia. That's her name.
I do like Jamelia. Big sister, you mean?
But you've got a smile on the face of her.
Jamelia's got 4 beautiful children.
Have you seen them?
And she is still
She's
rocking.
so beautiful, isn't it? She just, you know when someone's so beautiful.
She looks 12. Yeah. I don't know how you can have children and look younger than your children.
And you've got big kids. And
that don't make no sense.
No. And you just look fresh. Fresh. And I think she won her baking thing.
Oh, did she win?
Yeah, I think she won the baking.
Sorry guys, I don't have a TV.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have a telly.
No, and I look at TV.
Look at you, so you're taffy, you don't have a telly. Imagine that.
Telly, I don't do newspaper, NASA.
Wow. And she don't use cash. Oh, she is part of the problem.
Sometimes.
It's not sometimes. I know you. Your cash is not there. You are that person. You're like this. Sainsbury's. This and that. Yeah, and I'm just like, look.
But you know what? The digits still have to be in the account in order for me to go.
That's why I don't do it, because I'm so scared in case the embarrassment that it declines. You know.
Do you have an app on your phone?
What is an app? I'm old-fashioned.
Listen,
I'm very
I say this again. I already said this to the woman one time.
I can't be a dinosaur, but I
can't be a dinosaur. Can't be a dinosaur. And you know why?
Tell me, go on.
You know what? Right.
What if everything crashes? What happens then? You tell me.
No. I'm not saying that you give up everything for technology. I'm saying we are, guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Gen X.
What is a Gen X then? I've seen it written. What does that mean?
So Gen X is the generation, just a few years before, listen, I was born in 1970.
Oh, and I'm 71.
Right, so just a few years, so that's my sister's year.
That's it.
That's probably why.
That's why. That's why you would.
I'll be like, I don't know you. So Gen X is a few years before 70, up to I think it's 82.
So there's a real meaning to it. I've seen it all over the place. I didn't realise.
Yeah. So after Gen X, is
what again?
Is millennial, and then it's Gen Z, right? So Gen X is the last generation where, and probably the old, very old millennials, those who were born, like my sister was born in 84, so she still kind of recollects a little bit of what I'm about to say. Yeah. This is when we used to go jungle gyms. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Jungle gyms.
What else was there? Skate park. Do you remember skate
parks? And I said, and there were no laws protecting. Listen, if there's a nail that was sticking out of the jungle gym and you scrap on a nail on that, she'd straight yourself. That's your business.
That's your business.
There's no suing anybody. There was none of that. We're the last generation in terms of seatbelts. Remember that?
Yeah.
All of that.
That's what this Gen X means. Wow.
All of that. Green Cross code. No.
You remember the Green Cross?
So there's certain things, and we straddle analog. So we still had records. Some of our parents had gramophones.
Grandparents had that. Yeah.
We straddle analog into digital. Yeah. So we're the last one. We're the last one where we can go out in the city and we could play, and then your parent, and then, well, in my case, my mum would come back when the lights come on.
That's right. Do you remember when dark used to be dark? And Sunday used to be a Sunday. Shops used to be closed.
Shops used to be closed. You know, so, and that's why I say we have to be careful not to be a dinosaur, because the more we're, because of that, we stay stuck.
I am.
We don't move with the generation, and we create a greater gap of understanding between us and them.
And you're right. You're very, very right. My son does it all the time. He will send me money through a app. And he said, Mum, have you checked? I said, check what? I go to the cash machine, tick to see a statement. He said, Mum, just do it on your phone. I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn. Right? And the next time I'm in a queue, it's the queue.
Well, this is why I stay learning. So I'm a university lecturer at the moment, right?
Oh, nice.
But I continue to be a peripatetic tutor, like an instrumental tutor, working in school. So I did that for 15 years and continue to do it because I'm able to keep my finger on the pulse with the young people. I'm talking not the young adults that I have in university. That's cool. I'm talking about the children. Through the children, I have a better idea of what's going on, and they teach me all the time.
But I still don't want to tap.
Okay, which is very nice. She already done makeup on
I just want to be a dinosaur till I'm about 60. Then I'll change my mind. So before the radio advert comes on, I just want to thank Fola so much. Thank you so much for gracing us this morning. Pleasure. And don't forget to go to this show.
We're going to exchange numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting my ticket. Because my birthday month and her sister's. Anyway, take care until next week. You've been listening to Goddess Jazzy. This has been Fola Phillips.
Thank you.
And I want to say a big love, light and blessings to all of you. And I'll check you out next week. Take care. Lots of love. Mwah. Done.